Hey, what's up? I'm Winston from Parkway Drive and you're watching RAMzine.
Vicky here at Download Festival and I'm backstage with Winston and Parkway Drive.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm really good.
Good. I'm so excited to see your set on the second stage tonight.
Yeah, it should be fun, huh?
It's going to have all the fire and...
It's got all this, that, some other things. We brought it all in a suitcase. It's great. We've been unpacking it all day, just reaching into the magic suitcase and pulling out more things.
That's so handy. So my track of the year is Wishing Wells. It's just
thank you.
Amazing. So what is that song actually about?
You ready to be depressed?
Yeah.
No, it's about dealing with grief, basically, in a very immediate situation of loss, and trying to find a way to rationalize basically a loss that is indefinable. Like we lost friends to cancer when there were people that healthy, fit young people, and you're not told that those people that you should be getting cancer when you have something like that, let alone oh, by the way, it's going to end like this, and then you just why?
Yeah.
So that's what it's about. Just trying to find something to blame for that when there's nothing to blame, and trying to find a personification for that blame. That's it. Yeah.
As horrible as that sort of thing is, and feeling that pain, it does end up making the best music, because any music that's got that personal element to it, it's got your heart and soul in the song. It propels it to this next level.
Isn't it? I'm a fan of sad music. And it's always the thing that connects to me a lot, but I don't know why, but I completely I agree with that. But maybe it's the fact that I think people turn to music as a way of expressing themselves when they have no other way of expressing themselves in that time. And it does create that outlet.
Yeah.
So that could possibly be the reason. I dance when I'm happy, but I write lyrics when I'm sad. So yeah.
Well, so there's been a few albums this year, not to name any names, that have been you kind of feel like they're just writing music for the sake of writing music. It hasn't got that passion in it, that magic thing. But with Reverence, I'm like, this is it. This has got the magic in it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that translates.
So it just made me wonder, do you ever have a day where you can't write, you have a mental block?
Oh yeah. And it's not so much about a mental block. So our music takes a long time to write. This album took 2 years, and we're not the kind of band that's right, 2 months, album at the end of it, she's done. It just happens when it happens. So for me, writing happens when I need to write and when there's inspiration, and it will literally be something that is in my head which I have to put on the paper for reason X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
And I don't sit down. I'm right, 9 to 5. I'm going to work on these songs. Time to whip me out some words. It never works like that. So the mental blocks do happen, and there's times when I'm we'll have music, and I'll be it's no words.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can write about at the moment, and those songs will sit there. And then sometimes I'll have a song completely written and no music for it because it had to be written at that point in time.
Yeah.
And I'll be right, we're gonna make music for these words. So
I guess you're quite clued up at knowing when to stick with something and when to not, really, because
that's it. Yeah.
There are some albums that come out and you just think, well, this hasn't got that magic spark, and maybe it's because they're just not hanging on to that one bit that's gonna send them in the right direction.
Yeah, well, I think we know how we work. That's the thing, and we know that we're a band that to get what we really want, we really need everything about the music to be distilled to a very fine process. And some of these songs, they get reworked and reworked and reworked so many times. It's just about exploring every avenue of experimentation and doubt, to the point where you're you don't want to record an album and then go, oh, I wish I had 6 months, I would have changed that riff.
Yeah.
You want to make sure it's exactly, it reaches the exact character that you want for that song. And then put it down. So for us, we know how much to work and how much is needed to put into those things, and when to work and when not, when to step away and go, it's there. To reach that point, leave it. Because at the end of the day, we could work one song for 20 years and it will keep changing, but at the end of the day, you do have to go, there's the album.
Yeah.
Like there's the concept for that period of time, and then after that you move on to the next one.
Yeah. So, well, like I said, I think this album is spot on, and obviously tonight you'll be headlining the second stage of Download.
How mental is that?
That's insane, but I feel like it's so justified. If you had released this album and not had that slot, it just would have felt like you needed to be there.
Yeah.
So what are your goals after tonight?
Keep going. Basically, like the album's like a month old now, which is nuts, and it's been insane to like play these songs and like not only have the songs do what we really wanted them to do live and give our set what we wanted them to give, but them to like they've exceeded. Crowd reaction to these songs has been flooring.
Yeah.
Like if you've seen any of the footage of us playing, it's me with this giant cheesy grin plastered over my head. So we're going to be touring, and we're going to be coming back for a headlining tour, which I think is announced.
I saw a cheeky poster over there saying that you're doing an arena tour. Yeah. Is it January?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, and the supports we have the supports, but we can't announce them yet. And it's
okay.
mental. Like it's the wildest tour we've ever done.
Yeah.
So, and I'm so stoked because like we love playing the UK, and I love the fact that we now get to be at a point where we can translate the music into something visual on the stage that we can really feel we can amplify all these different aspects of these songs and do it justice visually as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, you know what they say about bands that do arena tours in the UK, they get to headline Download eventually.
Do they? Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's always talking about it. Who's the next generation of headliners? Because the same bands get put on year on year, and everyone says you have to. The step is to do an arena tour, and then. You know,
I think the step is to do a successful arena tour.
Yeah.
Look,
maybe kill it with another album.
Yeah. That's the thing is like we do this because we love doing it, and we're not at a point where we want to we don't want to half-ass anything.
Yeah.
And I believe like no matter how many people like us or know about us, you put us in front of as many people as you can give us, and we will create a moment which they will be able to remember, and which I'll be able to walk away from and go, damn, I like that connected and that hit me, which is really cool. So whether or not we ever get to do it on a bigger stage is great. At this point in time, cool.
So now Zippo Encore stage is going to be pretty huge anyway.
Oh, it's going to be mental. We're going to smoke that thing into the earth.
Yeah.